This is a P4P Weekly What the Fuck report. I'm Punker Mike, and this is my co-host Aaron. What the fuck is a What the Fuck report?
What the fuck is a What the Fuck report, dude? Well, so this is what it is, man. When we first started doing this show, basically, a year ago. We just we would talk every week and just kind of shoot the shit about what had happened that week in politics, and we thought, maybe we should record this. Maybe 3 or 4 people want to listen to it. And that's how we started doing the show, and we would throw up one image, and that's, so it wasn't about visual image, and it morphed into something way different, where we're doing more in-depth specific shows about specific things. There's a lot more going on in the video and stuff.
Which we enjoy doing.
Love very much. And it takes much longer to put those shows together, too. So, we're not able to necessarily talk about kind of timely political issues in these shows, because it might be 2-3 weeks before we get it posted,
And we miss that.
And we definitely miss that.
So
now we're going to do every week, roughly on Sunday, Mike and I are going to shoot the shit about what happened the last week in politics, man. And we're going to throw up one image. It's going to be the P4P logo. That's all you're going to see through this. Each one should be roughly about an hour. Mike should be able to get them posted about 20 minutes after we're done with this conversation, and there you go. And we're going to do it every week.
There you go.
But we're going to keep doing midweek music. We got a new midweek music show up with our buddy Kahuna Chris out in Hawaii.
Oh, my God, that's a great show.
It is a great show, and especially if you like surf talk, which I know very little of, but Mike and Kahuna Chris definitely know their shit.
Well, This is Punks for Progress has kind of gone SoCal and Northern.
Right.
So this is the SoCal Punks for Progress Central. And then we have Northern. We have the Northern division of Punks for Progress Central.
Contingent.
The Northern contingent.
Yeah.
Could be NorCal, could be North Nevada.
Right. So, and then also just, there's also the Antifa show that we just put up. What is Antifa?
That's another great show.
We're really proud of that show. And we had A-Bear, who's been on Punks for Progress before, and from the Workers' World Party, and then associated his from the Workers' World Party, who is also involved in different Antifa actions. He's been involved with Occupy from the start. He was there on Inauguration Day when things went down in Washington, D.C., and he gives us a really good firsthand account of his personal idea of what Antifa is. And anyway, so really suggest that you haven't had a chance to check that out. Right. Well, that's who I'm saying. I was describing Duke.
I'm sorry.
And so anyway, just take if you haven't watched it yet, please take some time to look at it. It's long. It's like almost 3 hours long, 2 hours 45 minutes. So that's what Punks for Progress is going to be like. We're actually editing a show right now of an interview with Tony from the Adolescents, which we're really stoked. So we're taking our time on it, and it's going to be up soon enough. But that's the next Punks for Progress. And then we're into those the 2-part shows on anarchism. So we have a lot in store, but we're going to start giving you our bullshit, total conspiracy theory, wackadoodle takes on what the fuck happened over the last week. And that is our new show, the P4P Weekly What the Fuck Reports. So, bro, what the fuck this last week, dude? What the fuck happened?
Jesus Christ.
We had a budget. We got a budget in the world.
Well, yeah, he put up this budget thing. He wants to cut the fuck out of it. He wants to cut PBS. He wants to cut the National Endowment for the Arts. He wants to cut the National Endowment for the Humanities. And he wants to raise...
All 3 of those, dude. You say that, and it's just like my heart sinks. Because...
Why do you think I'm saying it? Because those are the worst parts of it.
Oh, my God. Those are the foundational elements of a functioning society that progresses, and I don't mean liberal versus Republican progressive, if you want to progress as humanity and grow and learn, you need the arts. You need shit like PBS. Are you kidding me? And you know what? There's a lot of stuff going around, bro, about, Sesame Street has been shitting on Donald Trump for a long time, dude. Did you know that? What is it, Grump or whatever
Donald
they have?
Yeah, they had Oscar the Grouch dressed up like Donald.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe not. I mean, I wouldn't put it past that piece of shit. Have a personal vendetta. The only guy on the fucking planet that I would believe would have a personal vendetta against Sesame Street would be fucking Donald Trump. But there's no proof of that. But he's because is that why he's cutting the National Endowment for Humanities? Are you kidding me, Michael? The National Humanities is the understanding of what humanity does. But let's cut that. Let's not.
No, because it's easier to manipulate people. It's easier to manipulate people that way. And PBS, PBS has. I mean, there goes Democracy Now. There goes BBC World News.
It's fake news. So what else happened?
No,
okay, so then he made Ivanka.
We don't know. We don't know what the fuck she is. She's not sharing her title with us.
Well, whatever it is, she's got
an office.
She's got security clearance. She has a desk in the fucking White House. It's now two examples of nepotism in the Trump administration. Her and her brother-in-law.
Kushner's on his way to Iraq this weekend.
Right. His son-in-law Kushner is on his way to Iraq, representing our fucking country. That's nepotism, dude.
Iraq. The fuck's he going anyway? With the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Wow.
He's going to Iraq. Yeah. Kushner. What the fuck does he know about diplomacy? Nothing. His mom and dad make hotel buildings or something, don't they? Real estate
I don't know.
moguls.
I was just going to ask you, what the hell did Kushner ever do except for be? I'm
sorry. I have a lot of money.
He gets to
wait a minute. He doesn't work on Saturday.
He gets to be the token Jew in the family, so that Donald Trump can pretend he's not a fucking piece of shit anti-Semite, and for that,
makes it convenient.
For being all Jewy and shit, he gets to fucking represent our country. I mean, there's more than that. Maybe him and his wife are in love. I don't fucking know. I don't care. But what are
Marriage of convenience?
What's his resume? Why is this dude hanging out with the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
Because he's Trump's son-in-law.
Right, and it's disgusting. And it's uncomfortable.
Because he's fucking his daughter, whom he probably wants to fuck.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Isn't that the daughter that he doesn't like very much? That there's
no. Ivanka's the one he wants to fuck. He's the one that he said.
I don't know why I brain farted. I was thinking Kushner was married to his ex-daughter. But anyway, so there you go.
I brain farted earlier.
We had executive orders.
Fucking hell. Yes, we had executive. Well, he rolled back all of Obama's climate change executive orders. Any of Obama's executive orders that had to do with climate change, he tore them up and shredded them.
So does this involve
well as
carbon emissions
still wants to pull us out of the
Okay. You know what kind of specific can you name?
Yes, I can definitely. They want to raise the amount of carbon emissions. One, they want to lower the standards for cars. Like they can get less miles per gallon, and they can emit more. They can have more emissions. So they're raising emissions and lowering mileage. So you have to buy more gas, and you can pollute the air more. Yeah.
And which is that can ultimately have serious adverse effects on travel and tourism.
What the fuck is wrong with these Republicans?
Because if your gas is going to cost more, why are you going to go on a fucking road trip if the gas prices are going to go up because you're not getting the fucking proper mileage out of your new car?
And here's the deal, bro. The OPEC wants to slow the production down to raise the price of gas. Price of oil. The price of oil is
all over the planet. It's peaking all over the planet, and they fucking know it.
The price of oil's down right now, and they want to get it back up. Why we're like at $3 a gallon here in California? It's fucking ridiculous. Especially when I think they're only paying $30 or $40 a barrel right now. So, but they want to they don't fucking care. He's He made it. He streamlined Keystone XL. He went and signed an executive order to streamline Keystone XL, and he's like, "Okay, let's go. When are you going to start digging?" And the guy's like, "Well, we got a few hurdles to climb still. We have to who do they have? They have to. What state is it going through?
The Keystone XL, it goes through a number of states. It goes through Oklahoma, Texas, I think Kansas.
No, up higher.
I'm not sure right where it drops down. So, but I can't picture a map in my head right now.
I know.
But I mean, what's
shit.
right above Oklahoma is Kansas. What's above Kansas?
I think was it Oklahoma? No, I thought it was a state.
It's Arkansas. No, maybe Arkansas, not Kansas.
North Dakota. South Dakota,
maybe through the
Montana.
Dakotas. I don't know. I can't.
It's coming because it's coming from tar sands. It's coming from Canadian tar sands.
Right.
So I want to say, God, anyway. He's like, "Oh, we'll call them. Don't worry about it. I'll call them. I'll call North Dakota. I'll call them."
Well, you know what?
Like, dude, you're such a fucking idiot. That's not how it works. But yeah, so now we're gonna get this fucking horribly fracked piece of shit, fucking shitty oil, pumped from Canada. What else are they doing? They're we were not going to Obama lower. Check this out.
What other APA stuff to the executive orders?
Well, Pruitt wants to get rid of the Paris Climate Agreement. He said he came out this last week.
This is the douchebag that's in charge.
This is the douchebag that's in charge of the EPA. Oh yeah, we need to take a look at that.
Let me finish my sentence because he's not. He's the douchebag who's in charge of destroying the EPA.
The EPA.
So sorry, I just wanted to clarify. No disrespect.
True that.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, well, he just came out and said that it's a bad thing. We need to take a look at it. It's probably not a good idea.
He came out against Keystone.
No, he came out against Paris Climate.
Oh God. Okay, so Michael, tell me a little bit about Paris Climate.
We agreed with a bunch of other nations.
Before you do, Paris Climate. Was one of his executive orders as well, right? Stopping Paris Climate agreements, or is it just that Pruitt is saying that
he can't? Okay, no. Here's the deal. I think it was last year. Obama went to Paris, met with a bunch of nations, and they signed this agreement that said we were going to roll back emissions this much. We are no longer, carbon emissions. We're going to roll back, 50% by the year 2025. All right, and these other nations said share. I mean, don't get these numbers right, guys. Okay, I'm just basics. Okay, and these other nations.
Actually, hold on. I just got to tell you, one of the things that we do in Punks for Progress, our main show that we've always been very proud of, is we get shit wrong all the time, but we really try to bring, like when we realize it or we do a little homework afterwards, we try to give you we correct ourselves regularly in our image. We try to give you as honest and factual accounts as we can. But on this show, that's kind of not what we're doing. We're running our mouths.
Feel free to talk shit. Hey, if we get something wrong, feel free to tell us.
Hey, please let us know because we don't want to be wrong. And if we're wrong, we weren't on purpose. We're not ever. We promise you, we're not going to knowingly give you bullshit. Okay,
right.
So
and we'll do a little. Now that we're doing this, I'll keep a little bit closer eye on what's going on. Write things down during the week.
Sure. We have our notes. We're trying to come with a little bit of prepared. Right. But this is not a news show. This is two dudes kicking back on Sunday talking about what happened. You know what? The bullshit fucking corporate media has their bullshit Sunday shows.
This is our bullshit Sunday show.
This is our bullshit Sunday show.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, Michael. Back to explaining.
So,
Paris.
No worries. So basically, we agreed with China and India and some of these really huge nations that have a lot of carbon emissions, that we were going to roll them back X amount of so much percentage. Okay. Well, but Trump ran on. Candidate Trump said we fuck that. I'm getting us out of that. Well, he can't really get us out of that without some major shit going down. Now, whether he's going to actually do it or not, I'm not sure. But
so he can't just simply sign an executive order and it's that simple.
There's a
lot more mechanisms.
It's like a fucking treaty.
Structures in place that have to be dismantled from different institutions and different organizations.
Countries.
And I just want to clarify,
among countries.
Listen, I didn't know that until now, but I'm not the president. And I'll guarantee you the fucking president didn't understand that he couldn't just but I'll sign my name. I'll fucking write that scribble I'll write that scribble that makes people think I know how to write, and then it'll be and then no more because Obama. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, the candidate sure as hell didn't know that.
Right.
Who knew the healthcare would be so hard? You fucking moron. That was a week before, but whatever. We can get into Medicare for all later. That's
okay.
Another thing that's
so
going
then
on
what?
this week. Pruitt. So Pruitt, the guy
Pruitt on his side. He's got Pruitt on his side.
Right. And they fucked it. Yeah. They did all that, and then let's see. We had that fucking stupid ass bill that passed the House of Representatives that they're going to allow now our internet service providers to sell our browser history.
Okay, so what are the implications of that, right? Like that. So everything you do online is recorded by these people, and what they're going to do is they're going to sell it doesn't. They can sell it to whoever they want, apparently, but the language and the way they're selling this notion to the people is that it's so that companies can understand the stuff you're buying and the stuff you like, and they can better target you with
fuck
ads.
That.
Okay, which
fuck
on
that.
And definitely fuck that. But it has way broader ramifications than just that. But let's look at just that first, okay? Let's say that for whatever reason you're okay with all these different companies, with these companies
Google.
Targeting you, because you know what? In the end, having things, I would sure like to get more ads from Ben Sherman in my Facebook feed or my Google searches. Okay, the things I'd rather have them suggest the new anarchist book than some fucking, dude who's sucking on Ayn Rand's dick that wrote a book, right? Okay, so on its surface, it can look like it's almost cool, right? But here's the thing too, that like, okay, if they're selling it, why does Google get to profit off of my behavior? Okay, if you're gonna, then they need to be cutting us all in. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, we generated, through what labor did you generate this fucking demand for revenue? And if you're going to demand revenue for what we do online, then you need to fucking split the money with me. But the bottom line is, it's not even about it. Well, that's part of it.
They've made it so that you can't have class action lawsuits anymore. So now it's not like American people could sue because you're selling shit that actually belongs to us. That's my fucking browser history. And yeah, I don't mind seeing Doc Marten shoes in my feed. In fact, they have new tennis shoes out right now. Anyway, yeah, I don't mind seeing the Doc Marten shoe, in my Facebook feed, but I don't want to see boner pills. I don't want to see fucking pills that are going to make me know if it's night or day when I'm blind, because I'm not fucking blind. Okay? I don't give a shit about Crohn's disease, because you know what? I don't have fucking Crohn's disease.
Right.
So, I mean, I appreciate being a little bit more geared to, but no, fuck you. Right. If I want to go buy something,
I'll find my own shit, thank you very much.
I need a new leash for my surfboard. Right.
I'll find my own shit, thank you very much. And generally, for the most part, whenever I've been inundated with advertising that's supposed to be geared at what I like, do we not just scoff and go, wow, you got that really wrong? Like the way Hollywood has covered punk rockers forever and ever. Just completely laughable. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think they're getting. I think they're doing a better job at the.
It also sets a tone, Michael, that says like, it's just another whittling away at my privacy and my right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, dude, and my right to be a free sentient being on the fucking planet. Why do they get to do that to me? It's just not okay. It's just not okay. And then you know what else? But hey, there's people doing stuff about it apparently, right?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, there's that one dude. That owns a company. What's the name of the company? You heard about this guy, right?
Right. What the fuck? The guy who owns Cards Against Humanity, or started it, or invented it, or whatever. Right. He said that he's willing to pony up. Apparently, the thing is, okay, the way this bill works is, it's so disgusting. They're gonna sell your information to the highest bidder too. Okay, so he's willing to bid like up into the millions to get Congress's browser history, and then share that with us. And ooh, I would love to see that. I would love to see what just nasty
John
ass
McCain's.
shit.
Rick Santorum.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Little Marco Rubio. What have you been looking at online, brother?
Yeah, I want to see what fucking
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham.
Should we go Lindsey Graham? Oh,
Wow.
He's got
who was it that came out? Someone. God, who was it, dude? Hinted a Republican. The Jesus guy. What's his name that ran for president? Huckabee alluded to Lindsey Graham being gay.
I'm not sure what uniform you're putting on when you.
Right.
Whoa, dude.
Well, I mean, come on. Lindsey's always been he's always been a bit of a Southern belle. John Stewart used to do the greatest impersonations of "I do declare."
Oh my God, right. He's got little boy porn on his computer.
Oh, he does. But yeah, so I would love to see that. And I would love to see I want to see the things that the words they look up or the information they're like, I don't know about this. Let's see. Oh God, I would just love to see that. How many times did Trump
Google Paris climate agreements?
This would be wonderful, Mike. That might be the one, because look, this you should speak out against this, and if you see any demonstrations or you have anything possibility, or contact your senators and stuff, because this hasn't passed Senate yet. You can at least voice that you're against it, but it's probably going to pass.
If this goes past the Senate, dude, it's going right to his fucking desk.
It's going right to his desk. He's signing it. He's going to scribble the thing that he's
apparently the Senate's a little harder to pass.
Well, but I'm just saying, if it gets through the Senate, then so anyway, going on the assumption that it passes, the silver lining is, man, if the whole world can really see the daily, not just Google, bro, it's the whole thing, all their social media stuff that they're doing. What porn they look at, what
was the one guy one of the senators got up there, bro. He got up and he was saying, "Yeah, I don't want everybody knowing that I went out and bought underwear or what kind they were,
right.
Or the fact that they were boxer briefs or what color they were because they were black or what size they were. I don't want everybody to know that I wear a size 38 boxer." There you dude's got it, I mean, he was laying it out there.
But I'll tell you what, bro. I think that, sure, if you're going to be a politician, you should just have to make all your fucking browser history public anyway. I don't know, man. So that might be the silver lining on that. But then it's okay. History. It's okay, though. Don't worry. There's not a lot of silver linings. There's still many other horrible things to talk about.
Well, the fucking Senate. The Senate has to.
Oh, and just. Well, I was going to say also real quick, just and then we can move on past the browser stuff. There's also there's a GoFundMe on our Punks for Progress Facebook page if you want to check it out. That actually a friend of mine started. That's for the same thing. It's just to raise money to try and buy the browser history. So, and I'm sure there's a number of those out there. But anyway, so there's ways to take action against it. But what were you? Go ahead.
We have our own GoFundMe too, in case you're interested.
We do.
In case you have.
And we do have been talking about, we'd like to get, we're using right now, we're both using headsets from like Radio Shack or whatever, and we'd like to get decent microphones and converter stuff, and we like to get some legit gear and really step up the show. We're going to Punk Rock Bowling here in May. We want to get some legit interviews with a bunch of people that are going to be there. So if we had better gear, man, we could make that much better. We could do more than just have audio interviews. We could maybe get some video interviews. And anyway, so check out our GoFundMe.
Yeah, and then let's see. Well, the other thing I was going to talk about was the Senate. They've got looks like they may be voting on Gorsuch this week.
Oh, that's great.
You have no fucking.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. You know why? He can say sentences. And I bet when he writes, purty. he can do grammar. He's real purty. And you know what? If I was, a 1950s housewife, man, I would love that dude telling me what to do all day, every day. He's great. And you want to have a beer with him. You know what I mean? Probably non-alcoholic beer. But yeah, he's
cited on corporations every single time. He's a fucking asshole. I don't give a fuck. No. I don't give a fuck. They stole the seat fucking boycott the whole thing.
Straight
up filibuster it. Fuck it. Fuck him. Don't even vote for him. Schumer today said that it doesn't look like they've got 60 votes. So I don't know. But fuck that. Fuck that. I can't.
Well, Michael, hold on. So here's the thing, okay? It was kind of it's a dominoes thing, right? It's like if they're going to do this, if they're going to go down the road of filibuster, then the Republicans have already said that we'll use the nuclear option and we'll get rid of the filibuster, which then becomes a fight which they know is going to backfire against them because it can affect them in 2018, right? If they're, get rid of the filibuster, really? So there's a problem. So that might contribute to why, because they know.
McConnell's
they might want. So the Republicans might actually want to avoid the filibuster, not because they're afraid they'll lose or whatever, because they'll be forced at that point to enact their rhetoric and induce the nuclear option. And
that's kind of where they're at with the Democrats, because the Democrats blew it up. Blew up the filibuster to appoint federal judges. Right. So that Obama could appoint federal judges because of all the obstructionism from the right side during the Obama administration. So they blew that one up. So now McConnell's going, well, we'll just blow up SCOTUS. We don't give a fuck.
Right. And so first, to be perfectly clear, the fact that I didn't like Merrick Garland at all. I did not like Obama's nominee.
He was a corporatist too.
He was a corporate guy too.
Maybe not quite as bad as this fucktard.
But if these guys are if they're there as representatives of this Constitution that was written about a long time ago, part of it says that they have to have their hearings, and they didn't. They subverted the Constitution, and now he's there. I think that Jank, he said something really cool. He said, there's just one question you got to ask them, and none of them really did. They kind of alluded to it here and there, but they never asked the question. What are your feelings on? What is your professional opinion as a judge who is, potentially will write, pass down constitutional fucking decisions on the way the process was handled with Merrick Garland? How do you feel about it? Because I posted that question, and Jank was saying there's only two possible responses, and one of the people who challenged me when I posted made it clear that there probably is a third option. He could just refuse to answer the question, and I'll address that in a second. But basically, the two responses are, it's okay that they did that to Merrick Garland. So, and if he says that, well, now we have serious issues with his stance on the very basics of the Constitution, right? But if he says he's not okay with what they did, now he's in a position to defend whether he should fucking be there or not. And either way, man, it's seriously, I agree with Jank, it's seriously troubling. He would have very serious trouble being passed at that point. What's Jimmy say?
Oh, he's fucking livid pissed. He's like, fucking, no way, fuck that. No, nothing at all, no vote. You fucking filibuster the fuck out of it.
Right. And so, so the third option of he could just say, I refuse to even say anything. I'm a judge. I don't have to blah, 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 or whatever. And we'd be like, well, that now they would be stuck on that. Like, wait a minute. Why do you refuse to answer this question on very, very basic constitutional concepts? Why do you? But no, the left isn't doing that. And you know why, Mike? Tell our listeners why the left isn't doing it.
Why? Because they don't give a fuck about us. They only care about the people that donate to them.
Fucking A. Same as the Republicans, man. And so I was unaware. I was unaware that that there looks to be maybe Gorsuch won't pass. But then what? So then who do they bring up next?
Fuck them. No, fuck them. I don't give a shit.
Well,
no.
But why? Well, let's just see. They got to keep. Do they just not pass? Wow, this could be interesting. Okay, so let's just say
this dude is worse.
We're probably going to be talking about. Listen, we're probably going to be talking about Supreme Court nominees for a while on the weekly What the Fuck report.
Right.
So we could probably move on because there's other things going on, like what does Flynn want to be in with? Huh? A little diplomatic immunity, maybe.
With the expression, in like Flynn? Are you in like Flynn?
Not diplomatic immunity. He wants
immunity. He doesn't want prosecutorial. He doesn't want to have to be prosecuted. He's basically what his lawyers came out and said.
In exchange for
immunity.
Testimony against Trump.
Well, no. Well, he said
what were you going to say? Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah,
his lawyers came out and said that he has a story to tell, but he's only going to tell it if he gets immunity. And what did he say before the election about Hillary?
What?
Anybody who's asking for immunity is guilty.
Flynn said that?
Yes.
Okay, I believe you. We probably talked it. Probably bitched about it at the time.
Anybody asking for immunity is guilty. You only ask for immunity if you're guilty of something, right?
Right.
Why the fuck are you?
He's definitely telling us that.
So what does that say?
Intriguing.
That means that he had a little chit chat with. Well, we know that he had a chit chat with what's that dude's name? Anyway, he had it with the Russian ambassador. He had a little chit chat.
Manafort?
No. Manafort's the fucker that was getting paid for it. No. The Russian dude, the Russian ambassador. I can't remember what his name is. Iliak or Kislyak, Kislyak or something like that. Anyway, so we
same ambassador that Sessions spoke to, correct?
Yep. So they had
two different occasions.
Was it this anyway?
Well, I just want to clarify. Yes, because it was Russian ambassador, and I believe it's Kislyak, and I believe that's the dude that Sessions lied unprovoked. No one asked Sessions if he had any meetings personally with Russians. He just said, "I just haven't." Well, as it turns out, he met with this Russian ambassador.
Fucking did. No, he flat out lied. No, he flat out fucking lied.
Right, straight up lied.
Little prick.
And then, okay, so Flynn, go ahead. So Flynn and the ambassador.
Right. So now we know that.
And actually, Mike, let me clarify. Who's Flynn? For just in case someone doesn't know.
Flynn was the dude that Trump fired, who was going to be
security advisor.
I think so.
Okay. And
national security advisor. Yes, he was supposed to be national security advisor. And
does he
Trump basically fucking fired him.
And he has history. What's his history? Is he an intelligence guy, FBI, CIA? Do you know? Or
nope, not a fan.
Okay, so anyway, let's move on then.
So basically, he came out and said, "Yeah, we have a story to tell, but we're not going to tell unless we get immunity." And Congress said, "Nah, fuck you. We don't need your story. We have plenty to go on." So, was it Congress or was it the FBI? Maybe
he was willing to sell out to the highest bidder, and
right. They're like, "No, I think we're good. I think we got enough information. We don't really need that." But so what does that say? What does that say?
He discredited himself publicly. He basically came out and said, "I did illegal shit that I need immunity from. That was in congruence with the Trump administration, okay? And I'm a piece of shit and a sellout." Hello, publishing
Trump fired
companies.
him. Trump fired him, so he's like, "Why not fucking speak?
Can I write a book, anybody?" So don't get ready for the Flynn book, right? That's coming out, of course.
Of course.
He's going to tell
They all fucking come out with a book. Come on. Yeah. They all come out with a book. But I mean, Trump fired him. So he's like, "Fuck you. I'm pissed off. So I'm going to rat you out, motherfucker." And they're like, "No, it's okay." Oh, and then the other thing that we didn't discuss in our pre-show meeting is that fucktard Nunes. Can you get this fucking story right? Let me see. He comes out and says, "Okay, Nunes. I just
and
got."
By the way, Michael, let me stop you. His name is fucking Nunes. Your name is Nunes.
No, it's not. It's actually not.
Him. I don't give a fuck the way he pronounces it.
Let me stop you right there.
He's a disrespect to me and to
he's not Latino, dude. He's Portuguese. It's Nunes.
It's still Nunes.
No, it's Nunes. It's pronounced different because it's Portuguese.
Okay, I may be wrong on that. But
I heard Jenk say the same thing, and they corrected themselves the next day. They looked it up. Yes.
Okay. I wasn't basing that. I didn't see the thing that Jenk. Honestly,
okay.
I didn't see.
No, because they said the same fucking thing.
That pissed me off right off the bat too when I saw him. So if Jenk was talking about it too, that's cool. Just me and Jenk tend to agree sometimes.
No. I think Anna went off.
Good to know.
and then Jay corrected her the next day. Anyways, so
mildly skeptical.
But now check this dumb fuck out, okay? So he comes out and says, "Okay, I just got information from the White House and about Russia." And then he goes, "Okay," and so the next day he goes to White House to give them the information that he just got from the White House.
Okay, say that one more time. Say it one more time.
Okay, and I got this. You got to remember, I got this from the Sunday shows today, because this is how this guy broke it down. I'm trying to think. The chief White House correspondent for ABC News. I can't remember what the guy's name is offhand. George Carl, I think his name is, something like that. Anyway,
Douchey McDoucherton. But
there you go. He got information from the White House. Went to the White House the next day to give them the information he got from the White House.
Ding, ding, genius alert.
This is the fucking brilliance of this administration that we're dealing with. Okay, we're going to tell you that we didn't. And this is all about the wiretapping. That there's no evidence of it. They absolutely didn't wire. But now think about this, because here's the Russian tie-in. Okay, so Trump and some of the people in the campaign were secretly scooped up. Some of their phone calls were scooped up because they were listening to other things. For instance,
okay, so let me clarify that. Let me clarify that, because
that's what I was going to do.
What Snowden released to the world showed. Okay, the line had always been, and they still try to maintain this bullshit line. It's so laughable that they're only monitoring and so they say that all the information that the NSA, and now we know the CIA as well, that they collect is just metadata. They're not looking at the specific conversations. All they have is this number called this number at this time, right? Unless it's an overseas call. That's when that's when they draw the line, and they can start looking at the minutia of what's said in the conversation, and then now you can get transcripts if it's related to someone from outside the country, right? And so what they're saying is phone calls and conversations of people who happen to be at Trump Tower who were Russian, having conversations with other Russian oligarchs or whoever. I don't know. That might not be right.
I'm sorry. It's the Russian ambassador. When the Russian ambassador and people like from the embassy like that, the embassy staff or, high up people like that kind of stuff, when they're in the country, their phone calls are monitored. Makes sense, right? Okay, so let me think about this. So some of the people in Trump's campaign were picked up through this kind of surveillance because they were monitoring what? Russian ambassadors? Oh my fucking God.
Right. And so the thing
How come nobody else has made this connection?
It's not just that Russian ambassadors happen to say something and mention Donald Trump, because that would be ridiculous. That would be anything to be feared. Everybody across the planet is having conversations and saying the words and talking about Donald Trump. Apparently, the reason that this is important is because it's about what they were saying about Trump specifically. It sounds like they might have something that's worth investigating. And what do you know, Michael? Aren't there are investigations? What, 3 of them? Is my understanding?
So. And what did they say before the election? Anybody under investigation shouldn't. And I'm sorry. And if he is under investigation for colluding with Russia, then why would we fucking even think about voting on his SCOTUS pick? Fuck that.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll agree with you, but now there's something that I want to clarify. Okay. I'm not convinced, because I haven't seen any evidence to conclusively validate the idea that Donald Trump or Russia colluded with the Trump administration, or Russia performed some kind of coup. Okay, look.
I wouldn't call it.
Let's be real, for the sake of honesty. Okay, all everybody has is lots of circumstantial evidence. We don't know everything that the FBI is investigating. It may be bullshit. They may have really intense information that could be just historically groundbreaking. Who knows? But the bottom line is we don't know. but all the circumstantial stuff and the things that we're kind of hearing about in the media paint a pretty safe picture to conclude that it looks like Trump may have debts to and certain allegiances to people who happen to be Russian. We call them Russian oligarchs. Okay,
and we would know that though because he hasn't released his tax forms. So that would be a good reason not to. Go ahead.
So it's now if you're Rachel Maddow's of the world, right? They want to make the they want to draw.
Be dissing on Rachel.
Well, because she's pushing this, she's one of the people pushing this narrative that it's all fucking Russia's fault. This idea that, that's in line with what the DNC is saying, which is absolute nonsense, that Russia is the reason Hillary lost. It's so fucking laughable. I can't stand it. We knew she was corrupt. She was completely unable to get her message across, which was, they revamped the format and whatever, and Bernie was involved and all that. And so, but the message didn't get out. The message didn't get out. Okay. And her message basically that did get out was Donald Trump sucks. It wasn't good enough. I blame her. She lost. Now there's all kinds. Now, if whatever influence Putin himself might have had probably didn't help, but I think if you take him out of the scenario, she would have lost anyway. That's my belief.
Now
okay?
let
me, I'm trying to get to.
Okay. Go ahead.
Something else, bro. And is that, so I'm just upset with the liberal media in general.
There is no liberal media.
Michael, just bear with me on this MSNBC. They're fucking liberal, okay? And whatever. You could call it Reagan liberal or something, whatever. I just don't want to get into the minutia and tear that apart too much. I'm trying to make a much larger point. That there's this agenda and this narrative coming out of the DNC and establishment Democrat liberal freaking circles that Russia is a lot more involved than I think they are. And so I fit them all under this umbrella now that I call Rachel Maddow. Maybe it's not fair to Rachel Maddow. Maybe it is. I don't give a fuck. Okay. But it's this idea that, okay, you have members of the Trump administration who seems have ties with rich oligarchs. And you know what? One of those rich oligarchs, ding, 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 he knows Putin. So now they're like, see, Putin colluding with Trump. This idea that Trump is a Putin stooge and pawn. I was open to that possibility for a long time. I just don't think so, man. But I think that Putin is smarter than Donald Trump and can probably manipulate him pretty easily, and Putin fucking knows it, right?
Totally.
And
come on, it's the SNL sketch.
And Hillary, it is. And Hillary was, she is on the side of NATO. Putin's not too stoked on NATO, so Hillary would have probably have. And trust me, I'm not going to fucking have Hillary's back, but she would have been a more formidable opponent to Putin than Trump will be. But that doesn't mean that Trump is a fucking puppet of Russia. And now, if it comes out that that's true, I'll tell you what, bro. It's not like I'm going to be super fucking surprised. I'll be like, yeah, okay, I was wrong. Yeah, it's not, it's not off the radar of possibilities by any means. But I just seem to think it seems more plausible and like kind of Occam's razor or whatever. You just take it down to the simplest thing is probably, yeah, he's beholden to some very, very wealthy people in Russia who also have ties to Putin, yes. But I think his allegiances are to them. I think I covered it pretty good, right?
Okay, well, first of all, yeah, I think you did. And let me give you my side of it, okay?
Cool.
I think Putin is one of the oligarchs. Putin has made a ton of fucking money since he's been head president in charge of Russia. He's made a fucking ton of money, all right? So now, as far as the election goes, if you remember correctly, Hillary was doing really well. After that second fucking debate, her numbers were going up. And then all of a sudden we started getting these little trickles in from WikiLeaks. All right. Now, could that have been Russian influence? Sure. Let's just say it was, for sake of argument. All right. So
and let me stop you real quick.
And on top of that, it's already on shaky.
Michael, let me say this: a lot of very, very, very far leftist anarchists and stuff are super pissed at Julian Assange. People who have traditionally really backed him and had his back, they're wondering if he's supporting fascism. So
he goes back and forth.
And I don't know where I stand on that. I'm not saying that they're right or wrong or whatever. I just thought that that's very interesting that people who have traditionally supported him are really upset over his involvement in what you're talking about. So go ahead.
Anyway, so I think when that started happening, she was already on shaky ground. She was on thin ice as it was. All right, and she started to make a little bit of headway, and they just, that whatever fucking came through just broke that and down. Now, the other thing I think that our election, and nobody's talking about it except Greg Palast, is interstate cross-check, and how they took the fucking Democratic vote out of the fucking hands of the electorate.
So watch it. It's available. I believe it's in our liked videos. It's Best Democracy Money Can Buy. It's Greg Palast. He's been a long time gumshoe fucking journalist. He writes for Rolling Stone and other
Facebook.
Right, and he's great, and we subscribe to him on our YouTube, on the Punks for Progress YouTube channel too. So that movie is incredible. So
Absolutely.
Please watch it and learn from it. So anyway, go ahead.
But
Mike.
I think that was part of it too. So we have Russian influence. Now, that's not saying
Mikey, we got
our
kind
country
of what
has
interstate cross-check is real quick. Just can you break it down?
Oh yeah, it purged a whole bunch of names off the voter rolls. What it does is it finds duplicate names.
People have probably heard of it.
I'm sorry, I'm joking over here.
And governments are actually buying it. Like each state governments and stuff are buying these interstate cross-check fucking information and numbers and using them. Not like necessarily NGOs or PACs. Like it's really interesting. And what it does is anybody who has the same first name and last name who is a felon, well, anybody else, even clearly people with a different middle name and other information, and guess what? Fucking surprise, surprise, the vast majority of them are what? Total rich white Republicans that are no. Black people, man. The vast majority of them are fucking black people.
Poor people.
And it's nationwide.
Mexicans.
It's nationwide.
Jose Rodriguez.
If we ever thought, yes, a lot of Latinos, because, and you know what, man? It's just another beautiful example of systemic racism.
Well, I mean, and it's one more example of influence, some other type of influence on the election. Now, whoever had control of that, whatever. But I'm just saying, so I do believe that, as well as the United States influencing other countries' elections, that come on. Trump even called it out on the podium during the elections. If Russia's listening, feel free to hack in and see if you can find the rest of her emails, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Tell me he wasn't colluding. He has, and it's so fucking simple. He's a dumbass, bro.
But out of selfish reasons, Michael.
Yeah, because he owes money to the oligarchs because he can't get any loans here in the United States because he's a fucking dumbass and had 6 bankruptcies.
So I think we're in agreement though, Michael, that okay. So again, I'm so influenced by really very far leftist ideologies. Everything I follow is like super hardcore lefty socialist anarchist stuff, right? And I agree with them a lot of times, and then sometimes I feel they go too far. Okay, and for the most part, they're completely disregarding any of the story about Russia, and I just think that there's something there. I don't know. We don't know exactly what it is yet. It could ultimately be direct ties to Putin and Kremlin itself, but there's some shit going on, and I think we need to continue paying attention to it. There is very serious issues going on with the divisions in Syria and where the West and the Eastern Bloc, as it were. Well, I mean, there's there's a deal that was made between China and Russia that they're going to basically apparently, We Are Change reported this today, and you can do your own homework on it, that they're apparently dropping the dollar. And so there's real interesting things going on with Russia. And yes, we do have the divisions with them, but we're also intertwined with them in so many complex ways, right? And so I also would encourage anybody, it's posted on our page also, our buddy Abear was a guest host on the Socialist Hour. And he did an incredible interview with Taryn Fivek. She's just an incredible individual. She's been all over the world in full frontal activism. She's been in Syria. She gives great talks about what went down in Libya and what's going on there now. She's done nationwide activist campaigns and stuff. She talks a lot about all of that. but she really gives us some very interesting information about the dynamics in Syria that we're not hearing on either mainstream or even most alternative media. So check it out. It's on our page. It's just on our Facebook page. There's the link, and it's the Socialist Hour, A Bear with Taryn Fivik, and follow her on Twitter. We do.
There you go. I just want to say, man, it's about the money, Lebowski.
Yeah.
You got to follow the money. He owes money to the oligarchs. Yeah. Putin is going to get what, $5 billion out of this fucking pipeline that they're going to build, but and it's the same thing
in Syria. In Syria, if he gets his way in Syria, that's what you're talking about, right?
Well, yeah. Well, Obama put a sanction on them so that they couldn't build this pipeline that they wanted to build. I'm sure. Is it through Syria? It might be. I think it is.
It might be. Okay.
But for Exxon was going to make $5 billion, or they're going to make $500 billion, some fucking outrageous amount of money on it.
And the sanctions that Obama put in do play into this whole
right.
Sessions talking to the ambassador. Was he talking to them about, hey, don't worry about the sanctions that Obama did? Trump is going to come in. So is that now again?
And you remember he put more sanctions on him after the election.
But from a legal standpoint, you can't even, let's say we prove that Sessions did have that conversation with the ambassador. That still doesn't necessarily prove at that point that Trump colluded with Putin. Now, guess what? It does set us much closer to proving that, because the next phase of an investigation at that point would be, is there direct collusion between Trump and Putin? And so there may be, there may not be, okay? But, here's where I think that what motivates my far leftist comrades in just wanting to disregard that is that there's some very serious shit going on right here at home that Trump is doing every day, right? You agree with that, Mike? I mean, we
talked about the climate, didn't we?
We had 7 topics for this week's What the Fuck report, and 6 of them had to do with domestic issues, and then Russia was the end. So Russia's part of it, but we cannot lose sight of executive orders that are coming down, what the fuck Congress is doing, right? That budget he's pushing hasn't passed yet. We can demand your fucking bougie fucking sold out liberals in Washington demand that they fight this budget, man. So, anyway, well, hey, dude, this was fun. I like the fucking weekly What the Fuck report, dude. I love it.
So good. Yeah, huh?
So we got social media and shit people should look at, right?
Yes, Facebook. We're on YouTube. That's where we're at. We're on YouTube. And Twitter, @Punks for Progress, @Punks 4 Progress on the Twitter.
And hit up our GoFundMe. We want to get good gear and make our show badass for you guys, man.
Right. And check out the Kahuna Chris show. And check out the Antifa show.
Absolutely.
And stay tuned for our adolescent show.
Oh, I can't wait. You know what? I'll just give an insight. Tony Adolescent is one smart motherfucker, and he's up to speed on some really important stuff. And you know what, man? We were really, really honored for him to. He got into some personal stuff about a struggle he went through with his own kid, who happens to be on the spectrum, who went through some real serious bullshit with his school and the school district, and Tony tells us about it, man. It's pretty cool, man. And that just made me think. I just wanted to point out, I wanted to say this earlier when we were talking about Gorsuch, and I'm glad that we talked about Tony. One of the things that Gorsuch fucking ruled in favor of in his history was there is a school district, I don't remember what state, I don't give a fuck, that was completely unwilling to do anything in terms of proper treatment of kids on the autism spectrum. And Gorsuch ruled against the fucking autistic kids in favor of the fucking school district. It said, yeah, you can fucking ignore them. You don't have to have any services.
Right. I remember this.
You do not have to have any services that are specifically geared towards autistic kids. That's the guy who fucking wants to be on the Supreme Court. Give me your fucking family value bullshit. Don't talk to me about family values. Dude ruled, and check it out. While that bill, what that was, is it finally went to the fucking Supreme Court, and our Supreme Court fucking shut it down. Completely said no way. They overruled Gorsuch's ruling.
Yep. And as I recall, they overruled him while he was in committee. being interviewed by Congress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fuckhead. Hey, man.
Dude, that was a badass first weekly What the Fuck report. I'm stoked on this. We're going to be with you every week, dude.
We'll do some more homework.
Are we going to have a closing theme for this show, or should we just get the fuck out? We put our shoes on, we got up, we did it, we said our shit, we're fucking out. I think that's good enough for me, man.
Works for me.
Peace
out, guys. Love you, man.
Love you too, bro.